Hello?
Hey, Chris. It's Alec. How are
Hi,
you?
Alec.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I got your
I will.
email. Looks like you wanted to
Yeah.
talk. What's up?
Okay, well, just let you know I'm in the middle of dinner right now, so I'll have to make this short. But, yeah, I am a bit concerned about the fact that you could see with the oversized ads on the Wikipedia. I mean, the smaller banner ad, that was okay. I would have accepted that on a daily basis, but no, you had to go and add
Chris?
a whole
Chris?
do the
Chris?
big
Chris?
page.
Chris?
Yeah.
You asked me to call you right at 9:30, and when I do, you're eating dinner?
Well,
What are you
I'm
eating?
I'm having some chicken.
Chris, if you're going to ask someone to go out of their way for you for something, you should probably actually allow them to do so and not act like you are inconvenienced when they do. That's just a suggestion.
Okay,
But
sorry.
I think maybe, if you actually want to have a serious discussion, that's why I called. But maybe let the chicken wait until we're done with our call. How about that? Because I don't like calling you only to hear that, you have something else that you need to do, even though this is the exact time you told me to call.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why don't we have our talk? And, well, maybe the chicken will get cold, but you can microwave it when we're done.
Yeah.
All right. So
I thought we had the understanding that we were not going to go back to the oversized ads again.
Oh, okay. Well, I can explain that. Do you remember how I told you that if you met my requirements exactly, I would remove the ads, but if you failed to meet my requirements, the ads would get worse? Do you remember when I said that to you? So you failed to meet my requirements. You did meet Evan's requirements, apparently. Evan is happy with you, and I'm proud of you for doing that, because Evan he's satisfied that you killed Simona. However, I am not Evan, and I had different requirements than Evan.
Okay, well, why are you not satisfied?
Well, there's a few reasons. First and foremost, you did not state all of the things that I told you to in your apology video. Like, how Sonichu cannot make money in its current form and is a doomed franchise, and you will need to start over with something original. You made no mention of that. Alrighty. Next, your last apology video was, well, insincere is kind of too lenient if I called it that. It was just insulting. I mean, you obviously felt absolutely no remorse whatsoever, even though you swore up and down to me when I talked to you that you did. But I'm pretty sure you just wanted to, finish the phone call, and you thought that you could just read things off a list, and that would please me. Oh, and then you hung up on me. I think like 5 or 6 times.
And I did. Well, the last one I did apologize for that in the email I sent you.
But you hung up on me multiple times. Chris, I think that you believe. I think you believe that if you do something wrong and then you offer a superficial apology, you believe that gives you license to just do it all over again. That's not what apology is about, right?
That is not what apologies are about.
Okay. And the reason you hung up on me is because, you were trying to avoid me. You were trying to just brush me off.
Okay, well, I will admit that's the last one, and I apologize for that.
Okay. So if you want that apology to mean anything, then in the future, including this call, and if we talk again, you are going to have to actually stick to that word and not ever again attempt to brush me off.
Okay.
That makes sense? Now, let's talk about those ads for a bit. If you notice, they really aren't ads for Astropedia anymore. What I started a new comic called Sonichu Revolution, and that's actually what I'm using ad space for. And what Sonichu Revolution is it's like a reboot of Sonichu. See, since you aren't uploading pages, I thought I would do a nice thing for your fans and use my ad space to keep your fans.
Well, no, I am doing a page. Now, listen, your comic page it should stay on your website alone. I do not want your pages on my website that only shows my pages.
Oh, it's kind of too bad that I bought ad space on your website, and when I gave you multiple opportunities to get out of me having web space or ad space on your website, you didn't take them. I can do what I want with my ad space. How many times was I gracious enough to give you an extremely easy way out of all of this?
Well, not sure. Define easy.
Okay. By easy, I mean how many times did I lay out a very clear, very specific set of requirements that I had of you, and where I promised that if you follow those requirements exactly, then I would remove all my ads, and I would do my best to stop Evan from, attempting to sue you. Evan's, in the past, he's happy now, but my ads are still an issue. And I asked you also about the apology, which you never were.
Yeah. Okay, well, just to let you know, I understand further, yes, you did offer me you did tell me very descriptively, very detailedly what you wanted a number of times. I'm gonna estimate like about 5 to 10 times at this point, because we have not talked over the phone that much.
Yeah, we've talked.
Or 20 max. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna go with that.
Well, it's not quite that high. It's actually I think 3 or 4 times is the number of times I specifically laid everything out for you.
Okay. Well, it's okay with this point. An overbid is a good estimate.
All right. Well, I'll give you that one. So yeah, multiple times I gave you opportunities to handle the situation and to come out scot-free. And if I remember correctly, I did talk about how you are the luckiest person in the world to have a competition like me who would be so generous and go out of his way to help his competition. I mean, a lot of other companies would have just blown you out of the water and not thought twice about it. But, I liked Sonichu, or I used to like it, back when he actually updated it. And I know that it does have some fans still, and I wanted to see it continue. Because I don't want to just take over everything. I don't want to be the only artist out there.
Yeah.
That's not fun. You kind of want to be the only artist in existence. I don't know why you want that. Why do you want that anyway? Why do you not want other artists to exist?
I never said that I did not want other artists to.
Well, you said it with your actions, if not with words directly.
Okay, well, maybe.
I think we talked about that time. Actions are louder than words,
Yeah, okay, well, perhaps my actions were misunderstood in this case.
Oh, not misunderstood in the least. Oh, no, your actions were very clear. You slandered and smeared me as much as you possibly could. You put all of your effort, it seemed, into trashing me rather than building up your own comic. If you can convince me there's some way to misunderstand that, then, by all means try. But as far as I could see, that was a pretty clear message. It's hard to misunderstand that. It's hard to misunderstand, you repeatedly hanging up on me. You've been out of commission for like 3 weeks. You haven't done shit for your fans. When are you going to come back with your comic? Because I
have been working on my comic for your information. I'm up to a few pages in book number 11 where I have drawn that far, and I'm about halfway colored through all those pages which I drew up.
How many pages is that?
Like over 30 now.
Over 30, really? How
yeah.
How many days since you started that that particular 30 pages? Has it been like, what, 2 weeks? Like 15 days, around there?
Around there.
Okay, I'm not really sure, if asking this is going to be useful, but why would you partially complete 30 pages instead of, say, completing and uploading 20 pages or 25?
That will happen to make up for lost time on my birthday, which is the next Wednesday.
I'm sorry, what about your birthday? What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to upload all those pages, all the main pages in a bunch on my birthday, which is next Wednesday.
Okay, well, until then, I think I'll just keep uploading Sonic 2 Revolution because, I want to please your fans, even if you don't. Chris, why would you?
I put up a new page yesterday as well. One page I had.
So yep, I saw that actually. That one page plus, I think you had 2 pages where you killed Simona. So that's 3 pages total, in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, anyway.
I do 2 pages a day. That means I've uploaded, in the past 15 days, I've uploaded 30 pages of my own. And when's your birthday? Like 8 days from now? So I'll have another 16 pages up. So that's 46.
You are mistaken. We're not talking about 8. We're not talking about 8 days. My birthday is on the 24th of February.
My mistake. So 6 days. Okay. Well, I'll have 12 new pages by then, in addition to the 30 I've already uploaded. I'm sorry, I didn't know when your birthday was.
Well, it specifically stated on my bio page on the Wikipedia, and in a couple other places, the 24th of February, 1982.
Hey, Chris, when is my birthday?
I don't know. I did not study your bio. I did not study your bio.
Well, Chris, it's on my bio page on the Astropedia. Why wouldn't you know it?
Well, I did not make an effort
if I'm
to
supposed to know
you
your birthday, don't you know mine? Chris, I'm kind of hurt.
Okay, well, I apologize for that. And after we're done here, I'll go to your bio page and put in my mind when your birthday is.
Nah, you don't have to do that. Don't worry about it. I'd rather you work on pages than go look up info about me. Because, I actually, I don't know your birthday because I've been working on my pages rather than, looking up your bio. Yeah, so I do really have to recommend that you begin uploading those 30 pages immediately. Like, as soon as we're done with the call or whatever, just get to work on it. I mean, stay up all night if you have to get those pages up. Because here's the thing about the way fans work. If you leave your fans in the dark for a week or 2 weeks or a month or however long, it really doesn't matter if you're partially completing some things, because if you don't put out any product, then your fans have nothing to work with. Have you ever heard of the game Duke Nukem Forever?
I'm sorry, you said Duke Nukem Forever?
Yeah, well, the Duke Nukem video games. You ever played any of those?
I have seen samples of that game.
Okay. Well, the company that made those, they were working on a game called Duke Nukem Forever. And that was going to be, like their next great title. And they were working on that for actually about 15 years. And they kept promising, we've got the engine built, we've got the characters designed, we've got all this built, and all that's left is for us to release it. And they never released it because they kept retooling and tinkering with it. And finally, the company actually went out of business. So now there won't ever be any other Duke Nukems. And if you keep doing the same thing, Sonic 2 is going to go out of business. Well, not permanently, because I have Sonic 2 Revolution, so it'll live on in some form.
Well, your revolutions are not the original Sonic 2 pages of which only I can draw up and tell.
But what they are is existence, and the fans appreciate that. Your pages are not existence. And if you stop Sonichu, then, the fans are going to want something.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess. Well, don't worry. You will see all those pages in the completion of the 10th book.
Okay. Does this mean I'm a little confused? You remember when I told you? Well, of course you remember. I brought it up plenty of times about how you really need to either do some sort of major reboot of Sonichu or else just come up with a completely different comic because all of the elements that you stole from other franchises. Are you still thinking about that, or because if you're going to finish book 10, then
I have been thinking about that actually.
What do you think about it?
Some of those changes will be talked about in the clip show that's going to be in book 11.
So is book 11 going to be a transition from the current Sonichu to a new one?
Yes, a transition.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually not really what a reboot is about. See, what you're doing, a transition, suggests that the Sonichu that exists now is going to be part of the same universe or world as whatever new Sonichu. What a reboot is a hard stop. You reset completely. You start over from scratch. Everything that came before means nothing. It's null and void. For example, the Spider-Man movies. They aren't in the same world as the comic. They were sort of a reboot because they told everything over from the beginning.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, I know I can sympathize with you on this. I mean, you've been working on Sonichu for 10 years now, and the thought that you have to abandon it completely and start over with something new. I understand that that's kind of a scary thought, but it is true. Have you what do you think of Sonichu Revolution, by the way? Have you been reading it? I'm only 7 pages in right now. But.
I have to look at it, and I did not like the way you were killing characters left and right. That's no good. It's just terrible.
Well,
Don't go killing characters. That just does not. That just does not work. It's like doing zombie X-Men.
Yeah.
Marvel zombies.
I remember that was actually a pretty popular comic, wasn't it?
It's actually on the PlayStation Network digital comic download, only on the PSP right now.
Oh, well, I've seen it in stores. Well, it was pretty popular, was my point.
But that's the point. That's still killing. It's just like killing everybody left and right.
Chris, how many comic books and TV shows and movies and, whatever other media have you seen where characters die? Do you think they're all bad?
Yes. Yeah, they are bad because that's just totally sad. And plus, to do it in such a gory way is just terrifying. It's like any of the Saw movies, especially the first trap in Saw 6.
Did you like those movies?
That was horrifying.
Did you like those movies, Chris? The Saw movies?
Yeah, I liked them. I mean, I enjoyed the.
You liked them, but there's death in it. How could you like a movie that has death in it, Chris? Death is bad. You said death is bad.
I'm not talking about.
Death
I'm not
is
saying.
bad.
I mean, yeah. I'm not talking about the death part. I did not say I like the death part. I like the building of the character of John Kramer in the movies.
But the point is, you still like the movies overall, right? I mean, you went and see them. You'd probably see them again.
Yeah, I mean, they were I mean, I would admit they are horrifying, and they do frighten me.
Well, hence the genre of horror. If it's horrifying, it's doing its job, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, still, that's Hollywood magic. That's that the people that acted in those movies are still alive and well. They just
right. I forgot because comic characters are real people, and apparently I'm guilty of multiple homicide now. Chris,
yeah.
you remember when you killed Simona because we strong-armed you into it because you refused to do it willingly? Are you guilty of homicide now? because you
No,
killed some.
actually, you could blame the Voltorb that was placed by that toilet that exploded. Because the Voltorb exploded.
Chris, you drew the Voltorb. You drew the Voltorb. Chris, you knew Simona was going to die. You knew there was going to be a Voltorb there, and you did nothing to stop it. You are an accessory to murder. Who cares if someone else placed it? You knew. Of course you knew she was going to die because, I've been telling you for weeks to kill her.
Read the pages after I put them all up, and you'll see that it would have been preventable, but there was a way that it could not have been prevented. You will find out.
Did you see my page where Sanchu killed himself? Did you see how depressed he was? I couldn't have prevented that. Sometimes people are so depressed that you just can't reach them. And it's tragic, but, sometimes people commit suicide because they believe there's just no way out for them.
I have a question for you.
Oh,
you said
please.
you like Sanchu. Why did you draw him killing himself? If you liked him, you would not have done that.
I didn't draw Sonichu killing himself. I said Sanchu. Your car, I don't want to say Autobot because it's trademark, but...
Okay, well, excuse me. Well, I misunderstood.
I'm not sure if
that was wrong. I mean, I was like, you're killing my vehicle. It's like you're making me have to pay like...
No, Chris, I didn't kill him. He committed suicide. He was depressed because he had a name that he hated, and all the other Autobots made fun of him.
The other Autobots do not make fun of each other for their names.
No, they make fun of Sanchu. Chris, look at what he says in that page. He says that he hates his name because it's not a strong, manly Autobot name. Why would he lie?
Well, it's only because you're
he had nothing to lie about. He had nothing left to lose. He was going to kill himself.
Yeah, well, I did not. I'm not the one that drew my car, my Autobot, to say that. I did not. You
but I did
that, pretending to be me in a sense.
I wasn't pretending to be you. Chris, look at the page. Do you see on the comment page where it says copyright 2010 Alec Benson Leary? I'm pretty sure that shows that I was not pretending to be you.
Yeah, well,
I was actually pretending to be
you. Had no right. You had no right in killing a character that was originally mine, and I have never said, had never said personally, had died. When a character dies, I would let everybody know myself. Anybody else who says outside of my jurisdiction, it's just a whole bunch of bogus baloney.
Well, maybe I can say it's a parody, and that'll make it okay, right? If Sonic Revolution is a parody, would that be okay?
Yeah.
It would?
I would accept that, yeah. And plus, don't make them so big. Maybe like 3/4 of the current size. 3/4.
Nah. Then no one can read the text. I'm not going to make it smaller. It's kind of hard to read the text already.
I should have those pages on your Asperpedia. People could just go over there and read them for themselves.
But the whole point of Sonichu Revolution is to make up for your lack of updates. Why would I put it on my Asperpedia? That defeats the purpose. I'm keeping the fans there for you, Chris.
Because
thank you.
Because you're drawing those pages, not me.
Yeah, that's right. I'm drawing the pages. You're not drawing anything. Or you say you are, but we haven't.
You're wrong. I have been drawing the pages, and I have been coloring them.
But you're not uploading them.
Because I'm too busy working on coloring them after I have drawn them all up.
Hey, Chris.
And plus, I have real life things like I have to hang out with my family. I have errands to run.
Chris, take a guess. All right. I want you to guess between Chris. I want you to guess between 1 and 10. How many hours did I spend in school yesterday? Take a guess right now.
How many hours you spent in school yesterday?
Yes.
The average of 10.
That's right. I spent 10 hours in school yesterday. I also uploaded a page of Sonic Revolution yesterday.
Well, what about your job? You have your job as well.
I didn't. Yeah. What about my job? I upload pages while I have a job and school. So what about my job?
Yeah, well, you're spending your time there as well.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, well, I admit, I'm not sure really what the point I was trying to make there. I lost my train of thought.
Okay, well, yeah, it's true that, yes, I spend a lot of time in school and a lot of time at my job. And I have errands too. Not really for my family. I don't live with my family, but I do errands on my own.
Yeah. All right,
yeah.
well, okay, well.
How much time, you've mentioned that several times that you have to run errands for your family. What do you have to do for them? What did you do yesterday? How are they having you break rocks with sledgehammers or something all day? Because you say it's some, huge serious thing.
Yeah, well, they're old. I have to do chores for them. I have to do chores for them around the house. I even shoveled snow to make a path for them and get the cars out. And my car, it was stuck in. It was the two front tires were stuck in their own grooves, and we finally got the car out of those two grooves today.
So you've been working on that solid nonstop, just digging your car out? I mean, I live in Minnesota. We get some bad snowstorms sometimes, and my car will just get completely buried in snow. And it might take me, in the worst case scenario of storms, it might take me half an hour to dig enough snow out for my car to move. We usually don't get that much snow, though. You said some chores around your house, too, besides shoveling. What else do you have to do?
I clean the kitchen. I vacuum. I move stuff around. I clean the bathroom as well. I do a lot of things around the house.
You kind of sound like you're talking to someone who has not seen that video tour of your house right now. And I want to let you know that I actually have seen it. So I'm pretty sure that house is not. Chris, can you hear me? Hello. Chris, are you pressing buttons?
Hey, Alec?
Hey, Chris, did we get disconnected there?
Yeah, afraid we did. It happens to me between me and my gal pal as well in our conversations sometimes. Reception goes bad during this time of night.
Oh, okay. Well, glad I got you back. Okay. Well, we were talking about the chores you need to do, I think, in your house. So you're saying you clean your house up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Have you cleaned your room at all?
Yes, I do clean my room.
How much do you clean it?
Yeah, I clean my room once a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So how long does it take when you do that? Because if you do it once a week, that's just maintenance, and
it takes me 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to clean the rest of the house?
It pretty much takes me 1 to 2 hours per room.
Okay. What do you do when you clean? What specific stuff do you do?
I move stuff around. I take the vacuum cleaner. I vacuum. I scrub the floors with 409 and paper towels. Really hard work. Backbreaking.
Backbreaking.
Yeah, my back hurts.
I hope you don't mean your back hurts from cleaning.
Yeah, after an extensive long time. I mean, sure.
I thought you were strong, Chris. Why would your back?
I am strong.
How strong are you? Because I've seen some videos.
I'm very strong. Believe me, I'm very strong.
Really?
anybody will tell you that, like, yeah, they just feel like their back goes after a very extensive time scrubbing the floors, getting up and down as well.
You should get a Swiffer wet jet, because then you can stand while you're scrubbing the floor. I use it. It's really useful.
Hmm.
It's quick,
well,
too.
We don't have that here.
Oh, maybe you could sell some of those video games like I was talking about, then you could afford one. Have you thought at all about selling any more of your games, Chris?
No, I have no plans. I have no plans of that at the moment.
Why would you want to hold on to video games that you don't play anymore?
I do play them, and I feel nostalgic.
All of them? Chris, you've got,
yeah.
how many hundreds of games do you have, and you play all of them regularly? Is that what you're telling me?
Regularly, like, yeah, I'd say, yeah, on a regular basis, I do.
Every single one?
Yeah.
That must take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Is video game playing backbreaking too, just out of curiosity? I wouldn't think it would be.
No, but it's one way for me to relax after I have done the work of cleaning a room or shoveling the snow in the yard.
Okay, but you only clean once a week, and shoveling, that doesn't happen all the time. I know Virginia got a snowstorm recently, right? But that was kind of like a one-time thing.
Well, just to correct you, I was not talking about cleaning, period, once a week. You're talking about cleaning my room once a week. And then we have then it's like, on another day I'll clean up the kitchen, and on another day I'll clean up the living room, on another day I'll clean up my parents' bedroom.
Chris, I've seen the video tour of your house.
That was over a year ago.
Over a year ago. Was it, you really? You should film a new tour then, actually, because people still think that your house is, like a mess like that.
I'll consider that.
You really should. It'd be a good idea, Chris. Here's what I don't get about you. There are so many things, like, if your house is clean, you could just make a video and show people that. And if you've really been working on the pages, you could just upload that. And if you wanted to prove to people that you have Nintendo's permission to use Pikachu, shit like that, you could just show them the letter that Nintendo sent you that gives you permission. It's why do you take the hard way through everything? Why do you want to keep receiving, demands and questions about this and that subject when one little action on your part could just stop all of it?
Because for me, it's not all that easy.
What's not easy about it? Like, okay, the Nintendo...
Also, my father's still very angry at me for doing that video, touring the house over a year ago. And he's an 18-year-old man. He's very angry.
Why was he angry about it?
It's like an invasion of privacy.
Well, how's an invasion of privacy? You live there. I mean, it's your house. If you choose to upload a video, that's not an invasion of privacy. If you try to videotape people without their consent, that would be an invasion of privacy. But I don't think your parents were in.
You don't understand. And I forget all the details my father said, but he's still very angry at me for having done that.
All right. Well, if you say he's angry, then okay, that's that. But what about like the Nintendo thing? Couldn't you? I mean, did Nintendo write you a letter saying, yes, go ahead and use Pikachu? Couldn't you just scan that and show that to people? Because everybody, you misplaced it.
Yeah.
That seems like a really important thing. How could you misplace that? And if you clean your house so regularly, I mean, it seems like you would find things that you had lost regularly.
Yeah, in moving stuff, I had the letter went with that stuff, and it got misplaced that way.
I'm sure you could just actually call up Nintendo, because I mean that would be you know, the legal department of a company keeps records of everything they do. They would be happy to just, you know, fax you or send you another copy of the letter.
I'll keep that in
Because
mind.
businesses lose paper sometimes, and you know, that's why there's redundancy. That's why. And not only your fans, you know, but if you showed that letter publicly, then I couldn't demand that you admit Sonic Shoes to doing franchise, now could I? You wouldn't even have to do the reboot. I mean, think about it. If either you reboot your entire comic that you've been working on for 10 years, that's one choice, or your other choice is you just call it Nintendo and ask them to send another letter and show it to everyone.
All right.
Destroy 10 years of personal hard labor, or show a letter.
All right. Well, I will look into that later.
Okay. This is reminding me of, in your recent, you started updating the mailbags again. Let me take a look at a mailbag, because I don't remember the exact phrase, but you responded with kind of a stock phrase to a lot of letters. Let's see here. Where is it? Oh, your letter has been read fully and your thoughts have been inputted, and accepted for better improvement. Thank you for your time and efforts. Chris, you spend even less time responding to these emails than you do normally. What's up with that?
The information, I actually read and reread each letter before I make a final response.
But your final response is not thought out at all. See, again, this is kind of an interesting parallel to your comic work, because you say that Chris, let me talk. You don't interrupt people, all right? Now, I will let you speak after I finish this sentence. This is how it goes. One person speaks, the other person responds, the first person. Okay. You say that you spend a lot of time reading and rereading and really considering the letters, but when it comes time for the final step, which is, the response, you don't really put any effort into that. And that's an interesting parallel to your comics, because you say you spend a lot of time drawing and coloring and, preparing your pages, but that final step, uploading them, you don't put any effort into that. So it kind of sounds like you go 90% of the way, but you don't actually finish that crucial last 10%. And just to let you know, people are mad about this stock response that you made.
Well, when it comes to the mailbag, it's just that, even after rereading it, I still could not come up with an appropriate response. So I had to go with a neutral response.
Why? What do you mean you can't come up with a... There's a lot of different subjects of these letters, and you give the same neutral response to everyone. Are you telling me that all of these subjects you really can think of absolutely nothing?
There are a few subjects of which I come up blank. Yes, I'll admit that.
Okay. Someone wrote you a letter about your comments about homosexuals being bigoted and offensive, and you gave the stock response to that. That seems like a huge kind of Achilles heel with you, is if people mention the word homosexual, your mind goes blank.
Well, yeah, plus I could not think of an appropriate response to that letter.
Your comments, I'm reading the letter right now, your comments on homosexuals are bigoted and offensive. You want them to die in explosions. You want a vaccine for them just because they tick you off. Those last two parts, those are actually very clear questions as far as I can see. Like, if someone asked me those questions, if someone asked me, do you want homosexuals to die in explosions, I would tell them no. If someone asked me, do you want a vaccine for them just because they tick me off, I would explain, well, homosexuals don't actually tick me off, and I would never want to vaccinate them. I just came up with that right now. That would be my response if such a question was asked of me. And that's not even long of a response. You don't need, like, a page worth of response.
Yeah, plus because I perceived that, because I perceived those statements as insults. And,
so we're back to everything is an attack on you. Remember when you thought that my ads were an attack on you? So now so you thought my ads were an attack on you. Now this homosexual thing, you've made plenty of offensive comments about homosexuals, which they could and plenty have interpreted as attacks by you. And so when someone asks you about them, how is that an attack on you?
It's in that letter you just read about, they call me bigoted.
That's because you are bigoted. I am not bigoted. You hate homosexuals. How many times? Actually, thanks to Jack Daddy, recently, I actually see them in a more positive light. Is that the same Jack Daddy that is an evil villain that does underhanded deals for ad space?
What?
Well, you kind of flip-flop a lot. No, forget what I said.
Well, for information, though, specifically, Jack Darius just told me about homosexuals from his point of view, and how that they would never make any actions towards me because I'm not even that attractive to him.
You know, Chris,
because he's a homosexual.
I've actually been hit on. I've been hit on by homosexuals once in a while. It happens to me in my life.
Okay.
I never got ticked off by it. I never saw it as offensive. I mean, I'm not gay, so I wouldn't really be interested. But if someone, man or woman, thinks I'm attractive, then well, it's flattering, even if I'm not interested. Why would you think it's an attack if a gay person finds you attractive? I take it as a compliment that people think I'm attractive.
Well, still, I mean, if if a homosexual came up to me and flirted with me like that, I'll let them know. No, I'll let them know that.
That you're not interested.
I cannot accept that because I'm not interested. I am straight.
Okay, well, that's.
And then leave it at that.
That sounds like a good.
If the guy continues on like that after the warning, then I would get really mad.
Well, that's understandable, and you know what? That happens not just with gay people. I mean, straight people. Plenty of straight people have trouble getting the hint. I mean, guys all the time. There are guys who hit on a girl and she says, no thank you, I'm not interested, and they just keep pressing the point, overstepping their boundaries, trying to hold their hands, things like that. That is, in a situation like that, it's perfectly acceptable to get offended if they don't respect, or if they don't respect your decline, your negative response, you see. But when did you talk to Jack about this homosexual thing? When did you have that conversation?
It was like over a week ago.
When did you answer mailbag 52? Pretty sure it was less than a week ago, wasn't it? Because if your issues with homosexuals are resolved now, then why couldn't you, offer a simple response to that? Okay, here's what you could have said. Well, just to be clear, do you still want a vaccine for homosexuals?
I'm sorry, I did not understand that. Could you repeat that, please?
Do you want to create a vaccine to eliminate homosexuality? Do you understand that?
Yeah, okay, I understood that. So, you're asking me that right now. Or
yes.
you just let me know, okay.
No, I'm asking you right now.
Okay. In an attempt to make a better world, I would support it. I would support that.
Okay, so when you said that you don't have problems with gays anymore, that wasn't actually true. Chris, well, like I said, I'm not gay, but I have a number of gay friends, a few family members that are gay, and that's part of who they are. That's part of their identity. Why would you want to take that away from them? What about removing homosexuality would make the world a better place? Shouldn't be that hard, Chris, because you already established a predicate that no gays equals world is a better place. So, having said that, that must mean that you do have an idea of how the two things are connected.
What two things?
Chris, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Chris, you said no gays equals a world is a better place. That's no gays is point one. That connects to world is better, point two. How do those connect? What is
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, okay, now I get it. I mean, it's just I'm getting an incoming call right now, and
well,
like
you should probably ignore. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
so
like
please.
It's hard to know because it's like it cancels your vocal input out at that point when the.
Oh, okay. Well, did you? Yeah. Did you hear my point though? Please explain how no gays equals world better.
Okay. Well, I'm not necessarily saying. I'm not saying that as in reference to them as people. I'm saying that in reference and like.
Well, removing homosexuality equals world better. Explain that.
Because there will be less risk of those people going to hell.
Hell?
Yeah, when they die.
What do you? Oh, you mean instead of heaven?
Yeah.
So you're saying gay people will go to hell? So you're a Christian then? If you believe that? What, like, it's been a while since I've read a Bible. Where in the Bible is that whole gays go to hell thing?
It's implied within parts of the Bible.
Well, I understandably, it's implied in parts of the Bible. I'm asking where. I'm not a Christian, so I don't have to read the Bible, but you're a Christian. When's the last time you read the Bible?
Yeah, I have read the Bible. But
you're sitting here judging people based off their sexuality without even knowing, like, what parts of the Bible. Hey, you know what else the Bible condemns? Black magic.
So?
How many times have you tried to curse people? Cursing is black magic. Curse ye ha me ha.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying right now.
So you're going to hell, right?
Well, I'm making atones for that.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Well, I asked you to give Mao a forgiveness blessing, and that was the most lackluster one I've ever seen you do. Do you believe that black magic works, Chris?
There's a chance that it can, but...
Not if you're Christian, because the Christian God says that all magic and supernatural stuff that doesn't come from God is false.
I have no comment to that.
Okay, well, let's go back to the gay thing, because, we've established that you don't really know a whole lot about the religion you claim to believe in. So I would, when you're in the absence of important information like that, I would think just go with what you know, go with what you see. And by that, I mean, you've never been attacked by a homosexual. They've never done anything evil to you.
Actually, yes, I was abused by one. A homosexual principal at my elementary school tapped me on his lap, said some offensive things to me, and I felt uncomfortable, so I jumped off his lap and hid under his desk. What
did he say to you?
I don't remember what he said to me, but they were offensive.
Okay, well, there are bad gay people, just like there are bad straight people. So one gay person did something bad to you that you don't really remember, therefore all gay people are going to hell? Is that the logic you're doing there?
More or less.
How many... Okay, so I should condemn all straight people because you've been horrible to me. You've said a lot of bad things to me. You've threatened me. Maybe, or not just straight, maybe I should condemn autistic people because you identify with autism a lot and you have been a very bad person in most of our dealings. Are all autistic people really selfish and demanding and arrogant?
No. Not all of them are.
But all homosexuals are bad? Because you had one bad experience?
Okay,
That's a double standard.
Yeah, okay, well, they're all not.
Oh. Well, I'll wait to see if you really stick to that belief or not, I guess. I mean, I guess it's good that you're saying it now, but why do you sigh so much?
Well, I'm a little tired right now. I had to actually clean the kitchen again today.
Don't you usually stay up till like 4 a.m. or something, you said? I mean, this is kind of like the middle of the day for you, isn't it?
No, this is not the middle of the day for me. This is the middle of the night for me.
But, you said you sleep till like noon, right? And then you stay up till like 3 or 4 at night. That's a really weird schedule, by the way.
Yeah, but actually, I'm mostly going to bed before midnight, and I get up at like 9 a.m.
Oh. Well, I actually go to bed like around 11, and, so I'm closer to my bedtime than you are to yours, but I feel fine.
Yeah.
We all get tired, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. What do you think of... let's see here. Here's another good question. When someone asked you about the mailbag that you fabricated and you gave them that stock response again. I really want to see you actually... My main goal right now is I want to see you put real effort into your mailbags.
I put as much effort as I could, but, sometimes I do come up blank, and that cannot be helped.
Chris, I know you've said plenty of times you're a pretty smart guy, right?
Yeah, but sometimes I'm quick, sometimes I'm slow.
Why?
It just happens. I don't know why. It's my head. I'm not a psychiatrist.
You don't have to be You remember that Mike Jackson memorial email you got here? You used the copy and paste response on that, too.
Yeah, well, I didn't know who that was. I didn't realize that was the guy that went out and moved out and went married the prostitute that did him.
I thought that you said that you spent a lot of time reading and carefully rereading these emails. How do you not know the basics of what it's about?
Well, I miss a detail or two sometimes. It happens.
You missed
to a
all
lot
the
of people.
detail, Chris. You missed all the detail.
I mean, I thought they were talking about Michael Jackson, the pop star.
Maybe if you'd read the email, you would have seen that that wasn't the case. Do you even look at that memorial? Chris,
Okay,
Chris,
okay,
why do you not put effort into anything?
I do put effort in everything.
Everything? No. I told you that your website was going to get taken down because of a lawsuit over a stolen character, and you did nothing. I tell you got to upload pages, and you do nothing. I tell you got to respond.
I am working on the page.
But you don't upload them.
Yes, I will. Yes, I do, and I will.
No, will is different from do. Will is future tense, and it hasn't happened yet.
I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of this. You're raising your voice at me. I don't appreciate it.
Well, I think I kind of, I'm just trying to enunciate a point. I'm trying to get you to respond.
Yeah.
Chris, a person raising their voice, that really is enough to just, completely discombobulate you? Besides, you yelled at me first.
No, you raised your voice at me first.
No, I asked you, Chris, why do you not care about anything? And then you screamed, I do care.
You're being ridiculing to me.
Is that the pot calling the kettle black? Chris, I want to understand why it is okay for you to do so many things to other people, but you get mad when they do it back to you. Please, I'm asking you a simple question. Please explain this to me. Why is it that any tiny level of stress or inconvenience, and you immediately will fall back on, you're being attacked, or you're being, your world.
It just happens, especially when I'm tired.
That's not an excuse. That is not an excuse. That's an excuse that a child uses. Children complain that they have to do a little bit of hard, work or deal with unpleasant situations. Honestly, I have been very polite with you, Chris. I don't swear at you, except, a few occasions when you really piss me off, but for the most part I don't. I don't yell at you, I raise my voice in response to you raising your voice. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to talk to you like an adult.
Okay, well, I'm just tired right now. And, concerning go to bed at 11 o'clock, you probably want to finish this up, want to wrap this up as well. So
no, I'm doing good.
Let's just agree that I will be uploading the pages. And when you got, perhaps after book 10 is completed, you could. Actually, you know what?
Well, you know what? If you want to,
don't worry about the ad. Don't worry about the ad space at this point. I'll just leave it to that. But
please stop running away from me, Chris.
What?
Please stop running away from me.
I'm not running away from you. I'm right here.
I know you're not literally running away, but you're trying to end the conversation because I'm making you feel bad. And it's not even because I'm attacking or insulting you. I'm just presenting, a few things that are very minorly unpleasant.
Okay, well, with that, sometimes there are things that, we don't. We would not prefer we would prefer the opposite of unpleasant.
You seem to prefer the opposite of unpleasant literally all the time. Any little bit of stress, and you run for the hills. You avoid anything unpleasant, even in cases where dealing with a small problem now will avert a very big problem later. You always choose the hard way. You choose to deal with the big problem that you could have avoided. Bad news is going to happen, Chris. Life is not all fun and games.
Well, I'm sure that's happened to you, and you actually had to do that as well.
Yeah, but then I turned 10 and I started learning to get over it. Man the fuck up, Chris. Pardon my language. But
yeah, well, I get and I've said that.
You're going to have to show that with your actions, Chris.
Yeah. And I will.
Do you believe that we could ever be friends, Chris?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got to start listening to people that are trying to help you.
I am open to opinions and thoughts when they are presented in a non-condescending, acceptable tone, or whatever.
That's what you always say, but you never act on them. I'm showing you things you haven't done, and you still don't do them, because I've done this with you several times.
Yeah. I will. Listen, I'm gotta go. I'm really, seriously, I'm feeling really sleepy right now.
All right, well, have a good night. Maybe I'll
All right.
talk to you later.
All right. Take care.
Good night.
Bye-bye.